don't we talk about it a little bit, Fletcher? Give me your overall thoughts, and we could spoil, man.
We have Peacemaker, friends, mighty group of heroes, I guess, that talk about their feelings like every episode. Now went to the Nazi dimension to pick, you know, uh, Peacemaker back up because they're such great friends in exposition. So then they find out, oh, wait a minute, this is the Nazi world, and
Mm-hmm.
we do have the one black actress who's amazing, by the way.
I love
Um,
her. I
yeah,
love
she's
her.
like the best thing in it.
She's the
Her and
only interesting thing in the show,
the
guys.
only thing interesting in it,
Yeah,
and they have like this recreation of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and I think it almost feels like they just had her in this whole show for this
just for
scene,
this. Right,
just for the scene to
right.
happen where they're oh, a black, and then literally they like chase her down, to put
Mm-hmm.
her in like whatever concentration camp it is. And it's like you're kind of waiting for it to be actually racist, and if anybody's been around like real racists and stuff like that, you were kind of waiting for some things to happen that didn't happen. Like she like
Mm-hmm.
jumps over like a fence, and then she like jumps in a pool,
But
right?
before that,
and
right?
and I'm like, yeah, so it's like
Right
if you were really
before that, the
racist.
end of the last episode, guys. They're realizing, hey, this place is a little different, Planet X, right? Then
Mhm.
whatever they call it, the other dimension. There's no people. They even say that, yeah, there's no people of color. And I know Lorena loves that word.
Oh, I
We should
do.
just go back to the 1940s where they just called us colored people. That's what you want to do, right? So just go back to it.
But it's so weird, guys, because I'm like, James Gunn wrote this drivel.
Yep.
So the black actress, who I think is amazing as well, at the end of last episode, not the current one,
Mm-hmm.
she's realizing what's going on just by walking down the street, and they start yelling at her, saying, "One got out," and they start running after her, and that ends that episode. And then also, too, you see the Nazi swastika on the American flag. So then we pick it up in this new episode. I do have to say there is a funny line where Peacemaker is so oblivious. He's kind of an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, "Didn't you see this mural?" And then he says, "Oh fuck, how did I miss that?" I thought that was funny, Fletch. That was funny. I don't know. I don't know.
You're more forgiving than I am.
But that's the world that they're in. Okay, continue, Fletcher, please.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's just they just basically do very over the top things. They're being chased around throughout this world, and they realize this world is not for us. They have
Mm-hmm.
some dramatic takes, but basically it boils down to like they keep saying that this world is not so much different than our world. So it's just
That
such
was a
a
wild line.
yeah, and it's especially after the comments with the James Gunn. I guess we'll probably talk about it later. Oh, is
Mm-hmm.
dead after this, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
the writing is abysmal. The characters we're trying to get like to know them,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
they're just not like likable. And the ones that we do like, they don't really have time. That this feels like the whole season is kind of squished together and then extended beyond
Mm-hmm.
belief. At one point, there's a chase scene where everybody's against Pacemaker and James Gunn's wife, and they're literally on the Peacemaker like motorcycle that has like rockets and like Gatling
Gadgets.
guns in it, but
Right.
Mm-hmm.
literally the cops get like the best of them, and they just stop in the middle of the road. They don't like shoot the guns or rockets or anything. They just sit there's like, oh, I guess we're done, until they get saved by
Yeah.
like
Why is he
his
giving up?
dad and his
Right.
brother. So you're like, what is even going on? I mean, does he have the guns? I mean, was he dead?
Yeah.
He gets saved by the girl again. it's just it's not the same Peacemaker. I feel not only from the first season, but it's not the Peacemaker that you see in Suicide Squad. You know that cool scene
totally
with Idris Elba, and they're like shooting things, and then like seeing how they can kill people. That Peacemaker is nowhere here.
No, yeah, they for lack of better words, have really I don't even want to say it, but listen, this is the scene, Lorena, that I want to play. And there's just a lot of this. I mean, this season dragged like I don't know what. I think this would have been better served as a 2-hour movie, the season 2. And they've been stringing us along like, Superman's gonna make an appearance. We gotta watch it. James Gunn pulled the classic. You gotta watch this Marvel movie at the end credits. That's what he's pulling here. But listen to this scene. Here we go.
Okay.
Got the volume on. Okay.
He moved to the Nazi world.
I didn't say he was smart. I'm sure he didn't even notice. Sad part is, I'm not so sure this Nazi world is as different from our own world as we wish it was.
Damn straight.
Damn straight.
If he's so awesome, why'd he move to the Nazi world?
I didn't say he was smart. I'm sure he didn't even notice.
Are they
Sad
serious?
part is, I'm not so sure this Nazi world is as different from our own world as we wish it was.
Damn straight.
All right. Reactions?
This is pure horse crap. The fact that you would think, or we'll say James Gunn decided to put in here that it's the quote, this Nazi world isn't that different from our world. Okay, so you don't see people rounded up and going to gas chambers. You don't see soldiers going house to house, confiscating your goods because they can. You don't have people, Nazis having you go around, wear certain insignia on you to mark who you are. Okay. And you don't have them working you to death, literally to death, that when you're dead, they throw you on the pile of skeletons. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And I hate that they throw around this word Nazi, because you have no freaking idea what it's like. And if I sound kind of hyped up, it's because when my grandfather served over in World War II, they liberated one of those concentration camps. And he was like, I don't ever want to see anything like that, again. And I think people have become this word has been thrown around too much, and thinking that it's funny to put the Nazi insignia on the U.S. flag. It's disgusting. It really is.
Cameron Pasha, I know you can't see. I don't know if you heard it, but do you have any thoughts? Okay, you have any thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I mean, look, I am on the same vein as Lorena. I understand. I don't know who these writers are who wrote this episode. I mean, it seems like there's a writing problem on this writing staff. I don't know. I mean, I should look into who the writing staff is. Probably people that I've either worked with or who gonna hear this thing and never want to work with me in the future, but they can add to the list of those people. There's a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's the mindset that I've dealt with a lot in writers' rooms, where they have they have a very unsophisticated understanding both of history, as Lorena is saying, and also of American politics and the use of that term. And the irony of it, and I'm going to be careful how I say this because everyone knows what I mean, but the irony of it is that most of the writers who bandy about that term, Nazis, when they see an actual genocide happening, they pretend it's not a genocide because they identify with the people doing it, and so as a result, they think it's quite heroic. And so I worked in Hollywood enough to know bullshit, and people use that word, that they are full of shit themselves because their sympathies are quite in a very ugly place, and they cover it up with this kind of talk. It makes them feel good about themselves. The people I've talked about current events that won't talk to me, like I said, major showrunners that were friends of mine will not speak to me ever again for criticizing current world events because it shattered their perspective that they were the good guys and they could never, ever empathize with genocidal maniacs. And then discovered, actually, no, I do empathize with that when it comes to my own community. And so that's it. So that's the layer as well for me that's offensive, because I know the people that write this, they don't give a crap about actual people today that are being wiped off the face of the earth.
Okay,
you know,
good.
they really don't.
No, that's good. That's good. Fletcher, let's wrap this up, this episode, because, you know, haven't seen. I mean, it's a shame, Fletcher, what they did with this actress. They did her dirty, because I think she's really good.
Yeah, I mean, the best part of the scenes was her and you know, the vigilante and stuff. Those were the best parts. You
Vigilante
almost want to
is
have
awesome.
like a,
Yeah.
you know, like their whole new series. You want to follow them along. You're kind of like, okay, oh, we got to get back to the other story that's all wooden and everything that, you know, you think it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But to answer Comet's question, James Gunn wrote everything. James Gunn wrote every single episode.
I think that's a big
of
problem.
Season 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think it's a big problem because he did it in between, after, around, on the bottom of Superman, and I think I think there was like everything suffered a little bit. He should have parceled out.
No, you've hit something there. You've hit something there. This is the problem. You can't run a studio and run a TV show at the same time. You can't run a studio. You can't make movies and be the only writer on a TV show. I mean, that's insane. So obviously, I don't even know if he wrote this himself. It feels like other people did, and he put his name on it, right? And he's not even reading these scripts because it doesn't even reflect the kind of writing he's done previously. So I don't know who's writing these scripts. It's very common for powerful people to just put their name on stuff, right? You know, and he's the head of the studio. Who's going to stop him? So I don't think he wrote this. And if he did, I don't know. I mean, he's clearly phoning it in because he's trying to do 40 other things. So now we're beginning to see why filmmakers generally don't run studios. We're seeing the limit of that.
Yeah, Lorena, it seems that as talented as he is, this is like not the same person that gave us Guardians of the Galaxy, you know? And, you know, but yeah, what are your thoughts on what Cameron just said?
No, I'd have to agree with him. This writing seems nothing like you were saying, like with Guardians of the Galaxy. I have never seen someone like in James Gunn's position, you know, doing a TV show and a movie, you know, at the same time. And I almost feel, this is just me, tinfoil hat, it just seems like they're just giving him, you know, free reign for DC over there. And I don't know why that is. I don't know what deal was made behind what door, and Cameron knows what I mean by that. But he is so out of his element. And I mean this fool had the nerve to say in an interview that if you didn't like what happened in the latest Peacemaker episode, you're racist. So guess what? I'm a racist again. Set the clock. Reset.
Did he actually say that, Lorena? He used those
Did
words?
he actually say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the context? Like, I mean, pulling that out just of an interview. Are we missing any nuance there? What's going on?
He says that you know, racists or you know, have a problem with everybody. It kind of like saying people who critique the current episode, you know, racist. Those are the ones who are critiquing his, you know, his
like us.
work.
We're people of color. I mean, I know for a fact this whole panels are quote unquote people of browner colors.
We got lots of melanin on this panel.
We got it all. So I guess we're all racist, guys.
Yeah, we're all racist.
Well, no. That's not the word they would use. What they would call us is uppity.
Oh yeah, that's true. We don't know our place.
No, I've been called that. I've been called that to my face when I wouldn't shut up in a writer's room when the other writer was making idiotic comments about Pakistani culture, and I was like, I'm Pakistani, you're wrong. And the showrunner said, you don't need to be uppity. He said it to my face in front of everyone. And of course, he's the kind of person, I voted for Obama twice. So whatever, uppity.
All right,
Lorena knows what I'm talking about.
Let's wrap it up on this one. I can't recommend, if you loved season 1, I would just say, you know, if you're gonna watch season 2, speed through a lot of it. I don't know if that makes sense. Speed watch. I'm gonna obviously watch the season finale. Maybe next week me and Fletcher can do our we'll record a show review. But I can already tell you guys that this would have been better served as a 2-hour movie. And I think he was writing his movie scripts. Fletcher, any final thoughts there?
That's what he is. He's a movie writer. He's not a TV writer. You hit it. He's a feature writer. I don't know that he's ever written any television before this.
Well, Peacemaker 1, he did. Season 1. But he wasn't under the gun.
Well, I mean, again, he didn't actually have trying to run a studio and make multiple movies.
Right.
I'll throw this one last thing here because I think the best way to salvage this would be to do a crossover with that show, The Boys, whatever, and have Homelander come in. I think that character would resurrect this show.
I like Homelander.
That's funny.
Homelander is great. The genius of Homelander is they made that show to be the archetype of the white, racist, Nazi, white empowerment guy, and everyone loves that character. Everyone's like, this dude is base, man. This dude's the only one talking any sense on this show.
It was just too violent and tense for me. But between Homelander and Soldier Boy, dang, I laughed my ass.
Fletcher Williams, anything else?
Yeah,
I think we please move on.
I mean, even people who liked it. Yeah. And I know a few people that liked it. They can't deny that it just felt that certain scenes were just like too long. He was really stretching it.
Yep.
I mean, it literally. I think in all the 6 episodes, those could have been 2 episodes.
No,
right?
yeah, no, so, easily. There wasn't enough material.
Right.
And the main story, and I totally agree with you, is like wooden. It's terrible. And you're like, just get us back to her and Vigilante.
Yeah.